Hello, today for review I've got one of the long-awaited devices on the market. FiiO announced their flagship digital to analog converter with wireless connectivity Q5 probably a few years ago. Since that time they changed design a few times, they changed ideas of what should be inside, how it should work and so on. And at last, by the end of previous year, it hit the markets and started appearing worldwide. So what we have here? We have a portable digital to analog converter which with spare headphone amplifier modules compatible with FiiO's Q7, with models for FiiO X7 DAPs lineup. It uses dual AK4490EN for digital to analog conversion. It has Bluetooth. Unfortunately no Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi introduces a lot of interference. But anyway, Bluetooth works really nice, but about that a bit later. It's certified for iOS devices, work with them without camera connection kit, and offers a lot of good and interesting features. It's priced about $350. Of course it's pretty expensive, but for flagship device it's pretty expected. And let's look at this digital to analog converter now. Box is traditional for FiiO. Here they put all the 3 certifications they received. So it's high-res audio certified device, it's certified made for iOS, and Qualcomm aptX also they've received certification. Traditionally they present this sticker to check is it original device or not. And inside of this box, also pretty expectable, we'll have another box. So short card with information about controls, with information about LED color, digital to analog converter itself, and underneath accessories set. So there is warranty card and manual in different languages. So what you will have with this digital to analog converter? As you can probably see, this nice pouch for carrying, rubber bands to if you want to make a stack or a sandwich, so-called sandwich with some signal source, 2 sizes, smaller and bigger. Smaller for some little player, bigger is for big devices like iPhone Plus, for example. What else? Micro USB to Lightning cable, certified by Apple officially, to audio cable to connect it as pure amplifier. It's also possible. USB cable for charging, or you can use this cable of course to connect to the PC to use it as sound source. Screwdriver to replace the amplification module, coaxial adapter, spare screws for amplification module, optical input adapter, and this silicone pad. You can use it when you attach it to some device to protect both devices from scratching. So as you can see, accessory set is pretty big, but FiiO also released or announced a lot of additional accessories. For example, they released a VM port cable to use with Sony DAPs, to use them as a source, laser case for this amplifier, laser case with iPhone case, so you can use single case to stack devices together. Also USB-C to micro USB cable and micro USB to micro USB cables to use with Android smartphones. Unfortunately they don't put this cable to the stock accessory set, but you can easily purchase them from FiiO store. And also they offers for this amplifier additional coaxial cable, longer, to connect to some other devices. So as you can see, accessory set is pretty big. Also I think it can work with FiiO dock station K5 and with DK1, but actually I'm not sure about this. This need to be checked additionally. Build quality wise, device is definitely perfect. FiiO passed that mark when they started creating devices, I think almost flawless. At least some, not maybe some their most affordable models can be built not perfectly, but expensive models are built really nicely. As you can probably see on video, there is a nice sandblast insert. Everything is made from aluminium. On the back side there is an insert of faux leather, but actually it doesn't look cheap, it doesn't look like something alien here, so it's pretty nice, and I think it will protect back panel from scratching. And let's look at the controls. So here is on-off button with built-in LED indicator, which indicates that power is on. It has this signature red ring, and also a nice interesting feature, there is separate DSD indicator, so when native DSD signal is fed to this digital to analog converter, here will be lit DSD LED. And volume control, it has this diagonal pattern, as FiiO like to mention for their devices, and it has a really nice rotation resistance. Here used hybrid schema. When you rotate it, you rotate analog potentiometer, but its value translated to the digital form, and it used to perform digital volume control via special separate chip. So you have best of both worlds. You have a perfect channel balance, but you have accurate reading of analog potentiometer, and it allows to select volume with pretty good precision. Also here is amplifier module, used the same AM3 module as in FiiO's new flagship X7 Mark II. It features single-ended and balanced outputs. Difference between outputs, actually let's postpone it for the audio part. And interesting thing that there are two micro USB ports. By default this one is used to access to plug to the source, and this one is used for charging, but you can swap them in FiiO Music application. Replacement, so there are two screws, you unscrew them to replace amplifier modules. I've done this many times for the FiiO X7 and X7 Mark II, so I won't repeat it once again, but it's pretty easy. And three buttons for playback control. Unfortunately they work only when this device is connected via Bluetooth. They don't work during USB connection, but I think it's better than nothing. So also this button is used to turn off and on Bluetooth and for pairing, and this one is cycle you through the inputs. And here is present breathing LED indicator. It has different colors, so I've turned Bluetooth on, so it's blue now. It will be connected to my iPhone 6 Plus now. So it's not as bright as in X7 first generation, for example, so you don't feel the urge to turn it off as soon as possible. And on the top side there are additional inputs and outputs. So here is optical, coaxial and line in, and line out, so you can use it as pure amplifier, and two switches. This one is for gain. Actually device is pretty powerful, so in vast majority of times you will keep it on the low gain, because there is no need to turn on the high gain, maybe only for some high impedance headphones. And the bass boost, as usual for FiiO, it's done very accurately, not like in many other devices when boost everything up to 1 kHz and you will have this sorry but farting sound. So FiiO's bass boost is more polite, and it works with mid bass and frequencies below, so it just added a bit more body, so pretty nice bass boost. So let's do size comparison. I'll zoom out a little bit. So Q5 is big, it's almost as big as X7, almost the same width, the same height, so they are pretty close in terms of size, just X7 being a bit wider. Battery lifetime is pretty good, battery here is big, almost 4000 milliamperes per hour, and it will give about 10 hours of work as digital to analog converter. It's pretty close, and more than 20-25 hours of working as pure amplifier, but I'm not sure that it's really reasonable to use it as an amplifier. So really great device, really stylish, and I think it's pretty durable. To control Q5, FiiO updated their FiiO Music application. So besides being nice player, it's also now a control panel for the Q5. Fun thing is that to change options you need to connect it via the Bluetooth. So in this application you can see the battery charge status. Unfortunately there is no Q5 don't support the protocol that is necessary to display the battery status here. So only in this application you can see its battery status. You can switch USB ports, as I've told you. Actually you can see it's fast process. Here you can select low pass filter option, channel balance change, and you can select idle power off. So when it's not connected via Bluetooth and no signal incoming from any of sources, it will shut down to save the battery time. You can change this timeout, and also you can turn its indicator off. As you can see, pretty fun. It works instantly and pretty fun. So you can control it and change additional options. FiiO promised that, actually not promised, but told that it can here can be upgraded firmware of this digital to analog converter, and also here can be upgraded firmware of the wireless module. I'm not sure that they will be upgraded, but there is such possibility. But anyway, I don't think that it requires some upgrades. It works really stable. And as for Bluetooth, really good connection, even on distance about 10 meters with the wall near you. Only one thing, that if you grab it this way or cover an antenna which is located somewhere here, you can quality of signal can be lowered, but in vast majority of times you will be holding it this way, so there won't be any issues, even when it's in one pocket and the source is in the opposite pocket. For example, I didn't have any connectivity issues. Bluetooth is almost silent, so there is no level of interference is close to zero, even with sensitive IEMs. And of course about the sound. So as you can probably understand, this device is really universal. A lot of different inputs, a lot of different outputs. You can connect it via Bluetooth, you can connect it via the USB. You can stream DSD here, up to DSD 256. It supports highest resolutions up to 384 kHz and 32 bits, so everything is like in the high-end DAB. But fun thing, I've already mentioned this in the review of Centron's Blue Duck, and it's pretty same for the Q5. When properly implemented, Bluetooth with aptX codec or with AAC for Apple devices, it actually has level of quality enough for vast majority of cases. I didn't feel that I'm really missing something when I use this via the Bluetooth. I don't really hear drastical difference, but Bluetooth gives you this freedom, so I'd say that I can easily live without this extra, I don't know, some maybe 10% of quality. Of course, it's not real figures, but some approximation. So I can live without all this high res Bluetooth, sorry, not Bluetooth, without this high res DSD and so on. So in vast majority of cases I will use it wirelessly, and but of course for critical listening I've used wired connection to my MacBook. Actually, forgot to mention, here implemented really good schema for Bluetooth when digital signal from the receiver chip bypasses built-in digital to analog converter, which is bypassed in the Bluetooth chip, and it passes digital signal directly to the AK4490 digital to analog converter, and then it handled like signal from USB. So aptX is a lossy signal, but anyway it bypasses additional conversions, and so it gives really nice results. So for critical listening I've used wired connection, and I'd like to say that FiiO created really natural device for those who'd like to see not to see, but hear music in its probably purest form, for those who like analytical listening and so on and so forth. But it's with this amplifier model. You can select, for example, AM2 and you will have a warmer sound. You can select AM2A and you will have even warmer sound. So you can vary sound signature. And also you will have this bass boost, so you can add some low end weight. But I will describe sound with this stock amplification model and without bass boost. So bass here goes pretty low. It's not the lowest, but somewhere there. It's on the analytical side, it's fast, it's punchy, but it doesn't add any weight. So if you like when some weight is added by your source, it's not this case. It is for those who like to hear the bass as it's recorded. With some with some bass light headphones there probably can be not enough bass, but with good models which have normal lows, I actually can recommend, for example, Dune Falcon C. This bass is really great. It's textured, it's fast, with good attacks, with perfect layering, with nice textures and so on. Mids are also not colored, with great resolution, almost black background, and all the sounds are clear and crisp and underlined. This causes Q5 being a bit nitpicky, because when you give it some poorly recorded material, you actually will hear all the flaws, all these issues. But fun thing is that it's a matter of mastering and of recording, not of the format. For example, if good mastered MP3 and good mastered FLAC, even high resolution sound almost equally good. In some cases I can hear this compression artifact, in other cases I don't hear them. So what I'm trying to say is that even with Bluetooth you won't experience issues. But when my material is poorly mastered, there can be issues with imaginary stage, with emotions and so on. With good recordings, imaginary stage is wide, spacious, really big, really deep, with perfect layer separation and so on. As for treble, it can be a bit aggressive if you are treble sensitive, I think. Maybe even sometimes it can, with some headphones, it can be too analytical, but in vast majority of cases also, especially with good dynamic driver IEMs, treble here is also pretty nice. It has all the features that I like. It has layering, it has good attacks, decays, resolution is also pretty nice. It's not the best layering, of course, and decays sometimes are a bit shorter that I'd like to hear, but treble is also pretty nice. But you can vary amount of treble here using swapping amplifiers. Well, if I compare it, actually by general level, I think it's somewhere on the level of FiiO X7 Mark II. And but with different representation. X7 Mark II is warmer, with a bit added emotions, with a bit less maybe yes, maybe with a bit less aggressive treble, so it's a bit more on this warmer sound, while this one is totally natural, totally technical, and even more critical. I'm not sure, is it done on purpose to provide two different types of sound in two flagship products, or it's just what they've got what they've got. But it's interesting, really interesting digital tonal converter. Actually, it's pretty close to the Centrance Blue Duck, which is also analytical, uncolored, and so on and so forth. I'd say they are somewhere close in representation and in sound. Maybe Blue Duck is a bit more resolving, even more, but difference isn't huge. So to summarize, really interesting device with a lot of connectivity options, with a lot of potential, with a lot of tweaking options, with probably good potential in future that FiiO can improve it via firmware updates, via some other updates. Probably, I'm not sure will they do it, but I suppose so. It's not as universal as dubs, because you will need something to use it as a source, but it's really the interesting device that worth your attention, and that is worth this long wait. Thank you for attention.